The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
So last week we answered the audience question about being ambidextrous, being left-handed. Dave is left-handed all the way.
Well, not true. I mean, baseball, golf, and hockey, I'm righty.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then we're in the same boat.
Oh,
really.
Good. Nothing more satisfying than that.
Yeah. Yes. It's a nice boat. It's a very big boat.
Yeah, problem is I get seasick, so we're both in trouble.
Well, like I said, it's a big boat, so you can go vomit on the other end, and I'll be at my end.
Thank you.
I'm the same way, in a way. I write and eat with my left hand. Just about everything else, I think everything else I do with my right hand.
Wow.
So Shane wrote in because we were calling it being ambidextrous.
Or being somewhat ambidextrous.
Or being a little bit ambidextrous. And so there's an actual term for being kind of ambidextrous. It's called cross dominance.
Or mixed-handedness.
Or mixed dominance, or increased hand efficiency, which is my favorite term. Cross dominance sounds kind of sexual, but anyway. So what this means is that a person favors one hand for some tasks and the other hand for others, and that's what it is. And cross dominance, we have an answer. We have a definitive term for it. Here is another follow-up. Broovies, the movie theater that has a bar in it in Utah that was fined for playing Deadpool and serving alcohol at the same time, started a fund, a defense fund, online thing. Ryan Reynolds, the actor who played Deadpool, found out about it and tweeted out saying, "Thank God they've found a way to legislate fun." Linking to all of this stuff and linking to the defense fund, to which there was an unnamed $5,000 donation. Who else could it be? I'm guessing it was Ryan Reynolds. And like I said, the last time, Broovies is facing a maximum fine of $25,000.
Right.
And a possible 10-day suspension of its liquor license. And that adds up to quite a bit of lost revenue right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that was nice of him,
Yeah.
right?
Why not?
Yeah.
Putting his money where his mouth is or something.
Something like that. It must be nice to just have that much money that you can just throw around and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to throw $5,000 at this. I'll throw $5,000 at that. Yeah. Well, thank you, Hollywood. Thank you, Ryan Reynolds.
Thank you.
Do you like Ryan Reynolds?
I have not formed any strong opinions. I mean, the guy doesn't bother me.
Well, that's a huge start for Dave, let me tell you. Okay, on to more serious stuff. The city of Cleveland has agreed to pay the family of Tamir Rice $6 million. Tamir Rice was the 12-year-old boy who was playing with a toy pistol on a playground. Cops rolled up in a car and shot him and killed him. You know, the usual police stuff in this country. It's very common. And grand jury, of course, declined to bring charges against the police. Big fucking surprise there. More of the usual. And this is a settlement here. Maybe no one wants to go through the long process of you know, whatever all this shit is that you go through when with a lawsuit like this. And that's it. I mean, I guess this is something to be happy about amidst all this tragedy.
Happy, yeah. I don't know if happy is the right term, but it's definitely something that you can say could maybe be somewhat of a partial move in the direction of compensating the Rice family. It's always interesting when we see settlements, financial settlements, civil settlements in the absence of criminal charges, right? I mean, that's always interesting when we see that. And sometimes you see these incongruencies where someone is even found not guilty, like O.J. Simpson, not guilty criminally, but more than likely, because it's a preponderance of evidence as opposed to a reasonable doubt standard, civilly in the killing of his ex-wife and her boyfriend in the case of O.J. Simpson. And sometimes people say, well, can't you then go back and say, well, he was found responsible civilly? And no, it's a different standard. Is it more likely than not that he was responsible versus is there any reasonable doubt whatsoever that he was responsible? Two different standards.
Yeah. In this case, I'm guessing the family just wants to see charges. I mean, money is nice, but as far as I know, these police are still active on duty, and it's the incident lasted about 2 seconds. That's how long the police decided the situation needed to be analyzed before opening fire on a 12-year-old. 2 seconds, and just more dumb, cowardly police. Now this is still happening. This type of thing happens all the time. You don't always hear about it. Some of these stories go underreported, some unreported altogether. And this one was one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
But still nothing compared to the coverage that Trayvon Martin received.
No doubt.
So how exactly it happens, the coverage that is, I don't know. But yeah, don't get your kids toy guns. Maybe that will help. I'm not blaming the family at all. I'm just, it's sad reality. It's, okay. Pastoral medicine has been brought to my attention.
This is crazy.
What is pastoral medicine? Well, it's Bible-based, popping up in Texas now. So you might see someone with MD or RN next to their name. Now, if it's someone who has I don't know what it is, a title, I just call it a title. In pastoral medicine, it would be something like PSCD or DPSC.
Yeah.
And it's Bible-based healthcare. There's the Texas-based Pastoral Medical Association giving out pastoral provider licenses in all 50 states and 30 countries. This is incredible.
And I think give them out is exactly the right term.
Yeah. Give them out. You pay them, they give you one. Now there are stories popping up that say, testimony. Some people saying that I've been helped tremendously. Others saying that, what is this crap? And it's, I don't know how this is legal, really, because it is illegal isn't it illegal to diagnose people and treat people without a proper license? I
don't understand how a lot of this is legal. There's an NPR article about this, and it talks about a particular health center called Health Core Center. And it says that this is a place where the founder is Carl Jawari, who's a chiropractor, but he says he practices functional medicine under his license from the Pastoral Medical Association.
But it's not really a license.
It's not really a license, but the thing is, he is a chiropractor. But, I hate to, if we have any chiropractors in the audience or people who have been to chiropractors and it's helped, it's fantastic that you're a chiropractor, and it's fantastic if a chiropractor has helped you. Chiropraxy is questionable in terms of whether it's real science. There are many debates over that, and many people who say if chiropraxy is considered reimbursable medicine, then a lot of other things that are pseudo medicine should be. There's a lot of real questions about chiropraxy. I know people will get angry and they'll say, "Hey, a chiropractor fixed my neck." Fine. Everything about this strikes me as scammy, though.
Yeah, but I'm sure there are some people out there who think they know what they're doing and think they're helping people.
Yep.
And the Texas Medical Board has only recently become aware of this. They are sending out cease and desist orders for people with these licenses, and it's just incredible. I'm not sure about the price of all of this stuff. There's the story of one person here, Tony, we'll just go with Tony, Toni, of Plano, Texas, found out about HealthCore through a flyer advertising a free thyroid seminar. And she had been taking medication for hypothyroidism, okay? She says she paid $300 for initial testing and $4,500 for a 6-month treatment plan. Of course, none of this is covered by health insurance.
Well, no, and this really gets at what you were asking, Lewis, which is about the legality of diagnosing. If you go to a homeopath, they'll diagnose you, right? But it's not a medical diagnosis, and they're not claiming that it's a medical diagnosis. So it's not illegal. They're not pretending to be doctors. So this person sets up a place, right? This guy happens to be a chiropractor, but you can set up a club, right? And you say, this is the pastoral medicine center or whatever. You don't advertise that anyone's a doctor. You're obviously not going to have any of your services covered by insurance because it's not a legitimate medical facility. There's nothing really illegal about just giving advice. If you go to you could go to a hairdresser and they could give you their opinion about what's going on with hair loss, right? They're not a dermatologist. It's not a diagnosis. There's nothing illegal about it. So they're not claiming to be a medical office. Now, of course, the chiropractor dude is a chiropractor separate from also being a pastoral doctor or whatever you call it. So that may be more confusing to people.
Yeah, and that's what some of these people do to kind of cover this up or cover for themselves, cover their asses, is that they claim to be giving advice, pastoral advice, pastoral medicine advice. And there's some hammering. Yeah, it never ends. Okay, pastoral treatment. You would think that this should at least be inexpensive. It doesn't seem to be. So avoid this at all costs. I probably don't need to tell our audience to do their research and avoid someone with PSCD on the end of their names.
And you know what? If you find your providers by looking on your health insurance's, included providers list, there's not a chance you're going to come across one unless it's someone who has a medical license and then in addition touts their PSCD degree. That's a safe way to go. Look through the providers on your health insurance.
Yeah. And we can say safely that if you are going to anyone for medical advice, and after you explain your problems, they start looking through the Bible.
Right.
Get the fuck out of there. Is that good advice?
That's very good advice.
Okay. We'll end on that.
Or any religious text, I would say.
Yeah, of course. Any religious text. Yeah.
Thank you.
Goes without saying.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.